and he has gained more than 5 years of industrial experience in various IT-related sector. He was in the role of senior leader, building businesses, handling aggressive corporate and marketing strategy, and solidifying profitable relationship with the Fortune 500 companies. He has started ATVT and he was vice president of the Cope Gemini India, which is 13 billion technology consulting corporation, leading ESD Cloud ADW for 20 Genial Europe. He has also worked as a vice president and head of RD and migration factory in Sintel, which is also a 1 billion Nasdaq listed leading global provider of integrated information technology and knowledge. Kundan is a specialist in financial objectives, both cost and productivity. It is all about he did a BTech from MIT Muzaffarpur, master from Mesra, and he's proud student of MIT Muzaffarpur. I feel proud on Kundan for his success and leadership role. And presently, he's disseminating, alerting us, all of us, about the future of artificial intelligence. And the loop and algorithm of artificial intelligence is very complex. It is all related with the cognitive skills of the human being. And we have to develop a complex network, neural network for programming. And in this domain, Kundan is working. And he has started his venture 2 years back, delivering lectures from Muzaffarpur to Bhagalpur to Punjab, all over India, and sensitizing all the young generations for future of artificial technology, artificial knowledge, and how it is challenging the human being, how it is challenging, and in future, it is possible the use of human being will become negligible. Each and every work will be done by machines with the help of embedded artificial intelligence. And what will be the challenges we have to face in the future that Kundan will discuss in details with us. And the students will be motivated to make career in artificial intelligence, because future of India depends upon the development of artificial intelligence. And comparatively, India is at the bottom leg at present. China, you see, USA, you see, they are enjoying electric vehicles without driver, with the help of artificial intelligence. And what will be the future of technology when the car will become driverless, when the car will fly with the embedded software with the help of artificial intelligence. This is all the future of artificial intelligence, and each and everyone should be prepared to face the challenges. And with this view, I have organized this discourse to sensitize our students, to motivate our students, to provoke our students to capture knowledge in the field of artificial intelligence. And you see and you listen Kundan with cool and calm, grasp what he is telling, and make career in the field of artificial intelligence. And now I am requesting all my friends and students, give him a applause clapping to welcome Sri Kundan Lal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Kundan, you can start your deliberations.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So let me share my screen. I believe, Sumit, can you confirm that you are able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, wonderful.
Everything is okay, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you are able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible. Continue, sir, please.
Okay. So let me start. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. And let me reintroduce myself a little. Okay. So I'm an IT guy. And currently I head an organization known as Viti Research Foundation. We are, it's a Section 8 non-profit organization. And we are already Section 12A. And now recently we have been also certified for 80G. So, we are in Viti Research Foundation, we are focused on developing AI-based societal impact and public benefit application. So, जहाँ पे ऐसे applications large impact है public benefit में और society के लिए, वो काम हम कर रहे हैं Viti Research Foundation, and we are also doing a lot of courses which helps students and faculty to move on AI side, okay? Or we don't call it just AI, we call it AI and emerging technologies, okay? So there are a lot of other technologies which is incoming very fast, technologies like blockchain, neurohumanoid, 5G. These technologies are also coming in, IoT, okay? And these are all enablers for AI. Because AI जो है,
बैठ जाओ ज्योति, बैठ जाओ,
right?
सुनो कितना फायदा का बात.
Right. So, so this is how this technology is moving, and the way I've kept this topic today is the AI and impact on industry. So how it will change our industry, what our industry is looking for, okay, and what kind of jobs will be left out for human beings. This is what my focus of this presentation is. Okay. So this is Viti. By the way, guys, Viti is a Sanskrit word and it means intelligence actually. Okay. So. And we have got another company, we call it Ati Viti. We have added Ati to Viti, and that means super intelligence. So the goal for all the companies and all the countries in the world, developed nations specifically, who are investing huge amount of money in AI, is to achieve artificial super intelligence. Okay, that's the decisive strategic advantage they want to achieve it. So if you look at my slide, you will see on below, this is us, the Homo sapiens, right? We humans are here now. We have taken control of the world, and actually not only taken control of the world, or we are the most dominant species, we are also destroying the Earth now, right? So this is where we are. But there is a guy upcoming very fast in the background, and this guy, we call it artificial super intelligence. And that is what we need to understand, that what that impact or ASI will bring on the table for us. The age we are living in, this age we call it artificial narrow intelligence world or a machine learning world, okay, where machines are doing certain jobs better than human beings, but it is very limited focus these machines has got, okay. So we need to understand that. So we'll go ahead into my slides. The prediction is then when AI will be fully formed, okay, this technology will be fully developed. So from ANI, artificial narrow intelligence, now this technology is moving to artificial general intelligence. And from general intelligence, when this technology reaches to artificial super intelligence stage, we humans will be here. That's the prediction. We'll be on the left side of the screen. Okay, so we will go extinct. This is what the predictions are. Let us try to understand what these gentlemen, who are well-respected business people, industrialists, and scientists, what they're talking about. So you know this guy, Elon Musk, on the left-hand side of my screen. He's the CEO of Tesla or SpaceX, and actually one of his company known as Neuralink has come into a lot of news these days because he has developed a chip which can be embedded inside our brain, and we will be able to talk and listen to music. We'll not need the mobile phones. It will be directly from our brain. We'll be start interacting with the world around us or with the internet. Okay, so this is what they are doing. They plan to download our brain on silicon, this company, Neuralink, and this was in the news recently. So what he says we are summoning the demon. So when summoning the demon, अगर उसको मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो इसका मतलब होता है हम राक्षस बुला रहे हैं, और जब राक्षस आता है तो क्या करता है, हमें खा जाता है, right? So this is what he's telling us, that we are summoning the demon. Look at on the left hand side, this gentleman Stephen Hawking is no more with us. He's a very well known astrophysicist. You must be knowing him. And this gentleman, his statement was the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. So this was Stephen Hawking. But there is another gentleman, Nick Bostrom, and his book, Superintelligence, is very popular. And if you are interested in artificial intelligence, I'll suggest that you guys go on Amazon. You can buy that book, or request Nirmal sir to get it for the library. It's an amazing book, Superintelligence. And he says it will be a Disneyland without children. Means a lot of collaterals, a lot of technologies like mixed reality, where we'll be working in three-dimensional world. All that technologies will be, collaterals will be there. But children means us, we children will be not there. This is what children, humans will be not there. James Barat went up a stage ahead, our final invention, that's the book. And this book is available, you can download it actually. It's a ebook, and it's available in ebook format. And he says, हमें जो इस पृथ्वी पे करना था, हम कर चुके. This is our final invention. Okay? And artificial intelligence is the end of the human race. This is what he says about it. Sumit, I'm audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just keep one line open because it's a world of visual guys are far off. So yeah, everybody should go on mute because then it will start echoing. Okay. So he says, James Barat, this is final invention, artificial intelligence, the end of the human era. But I believe the Winge, the Werner Winge line, the physical extinction of human race is one possibility. So this is what I believe in. I believe in human resilience, that yes, AI will come in. Probably we'll become more symbiotic with AI. We'll start leveraging AI, or we will integrate with AI much more better. Okay. Will become a kind of symbiotic race. Humans will become a cyborg probably, but obviously AI will take us to extinction. That is not what I believe. We will be able to handle this technology. So let's try to understand why these statements are being said. AI is all around us, guys. Okay, you know it or you don't know it. You are living in an age of AI. The way we travel, the way we do business, the way we shop, the way we do politics, the way we socialize. Everything today is controlled by AI. So if you watch Netflix, your recommendation engine is based on AI. They're watching you. They know what you watch, what kind of movies you watch, what kind of serials you watch. Okay, and the recommendation engine, they will recommend you, okay, fine, this is the next movie you can watch for, or this TV serial you should go for. Do a binge watching. So AI, they are leveraging AI. You go to Facebook, you put your photograph, they know you. Facebook knows you. Not only knows you, he knows your wife, your mother, your father, your sister, your colleagues, your friends, and you start tagging, and AI will start recommending the names of it. Okay, so they know you very well. Look at the way we shop. You all guys must have bought on Amazon, right? The Amazon model today is shop and ship. So you open up your mobile interface or a desktop and you go like your product and buy it and pay for it, right? Once you're paid, they ship the product to your house, and next day or probably in few days, it is at your doorstep and the product is in your hand, right? So we call it shop and ship. You know, they are using AI or AWS or Amazon Cloud. They call it cognitive services. They use AI a lot. And this company, they are going to change the model from shop and ship to ship and shop. Okay. So tomorrow they will know, the AI will know exactly what you need. If you need a milk today, or you wanted to buy a mobile today, or you wanted to buy a camera today, whatever you wanted to buy, okay, this AI knows about you. He knows about your buying pattern. Okay, he knows how much you pay for, how much you can pay for. He will know, he knows everything about you. They will actually do what? You'll open the door and you will find there is a box, Amazon box, and all those things. You'll be amazed when you open it up. that everything you thought of is available into that box. You'll take it out and the Amazon guy will come and take away the rest of it, whatever you don't need it. Okay. And obviously you will be billed for and you will pay for it finally, right? So from shop to ship, they're changing the model to ship and shop. This is predictive analytics. They are going to predict. Similarly, the way we travel or the way we do politics, they say that Facebook AI was responsible for Trump to become the president of America. The day American election was, Facebook actually knew exactly what's your leanings are. If you support BJP or you support Shiv Sena or Congress party or whatever, actually Facebook knows about you because you are posting it. You are posting media, you are posting your opinion, and they know exactly what you are and which leaning you have got. So they knew who are the people who are supporting Trump. And just before the election, day before the election, Facebook sent a message out. Your friends are going to vote. Are you going to vote too? And there were thumbnail photographs of your friends who were going to vote. It resulted in mobilization of 375,000 additional voters who went ahead and voted Trump. And you know, Trump won the election only by 100,000 votes. 1 lakh votes se hi jeeta tha Trump, American president election. So it is such a, AI is going to be such a powerful tool set for you. And there are 3 reasons, guys, why this AI is coming in so fast. We need to understand that. First is, we have reached to a technology stage where humongous computational capability is available on cloud. Today, if you want to develop an application, you can develop it and you don't need to buy a server. Okay, there's no need for investing crores of rupees into servers and all. You can go ahead and deploy it on cloud, be it an Amazon cloud or a Google cloud or IBM Bluemix or IBM cloud or Microsoft Azure, wherever you want to, you can go ahead and deploy that cloud on top of it. And then you pay per the users. Okay, so if there is 10 guys coming to you, probably very less amount you are paying. But as your 10 crore log jab aayenge tumhare site pe, their users will go up, your bandwidth consumption will go up, your website, because it's a cloud, it can virtually scale up. So your consumption for server time or CPU time will go up, and then they will charge you for it. So what has happened is, instead of buying servers and deploying these applications, from CapEx, we used to call it capital expenditure, you have moved to operational expenditure, okay? Pay per use. This is what is happening into the world. So humongous computational capabilities today, thousands of servers are at your fingertips now. Second, obviously the network, right? And network over the air. So today you are all using 4G networks, right? 4G supports around 7 to 21 megabits per second coming to your mobile phones over the air. Now, depending upon where you are in Delhi or you're in Bhagalpur and Bombay, the speeds will vary a little here and there. Okay, but these speeds are available. Okay. Very soon 5G is getting rolled out, and 5G, when it will come in, it will be 475 times higher speed than 4G speeds. Okay. Imagine, to make it an example for you guys to understand, if you download a movie on your mobile phone today using 4G, probably 1.5 gigabit movie, GB movie, will get downloaded in half an hour, probably an hour time for you today, right? But tomorrow when 5G will become available, which will be 1 Gbps coming to your mobile devices, the same movie will be able to download in a second. In 1 second, that movie will get downloaded. That's the kind of speed we are talking about. And you know, when this kind of technology comes in, what will happen? The impact on us, on the technological progression will be humongous because there will be no delay. So the very immersive technologies will come in. Billions of sensors, IoT sensors, are all talking to 5G because 5G supports that. That is IPv6, it supports it. Billions of devices. All your mobile phones or 4G which is talking, they'll start talking in 5G. You know that, right? A lot of IoT sensors. Your fridge will start talking. It is already talking actually. Your TV is talking. Your every device you know of, we call it IoT sensors. Billions of them, they will be start talking. Okay? 5G is going to bring that kind of connectivity. It is not only humans, machines will be also interconnected. Sir pointed out about autonomous vehicle. These vehicles are connected vehicles. Okay, they talk. And these vehicles will be also talking on 5G and transmitting videos also of you. So there will be a technology set which will be much more advanced on 5G, right? The third part, which has brought AI back, is that world has increasingly become digital. Today, if you want to go and get a job, you can apply online, put your resume to a company, go to their website and do it. You are applying your Aadhaar, your driving license, your everything is digital today, guys. Okay? World knows about you more than what you know about yourself. Even if you go and do a half search on Google, don't press the button search. Google knows what exactly you have typed in for or what you have been looking for. What do you type? What do you look at? What kind of movies you look at? What kind of search you make? Google knows everything about you. And believe it, guys, a lot of good companies actually knows more about you. You need to prepare for this world. Your privacy is gone. Okay? These companies knows about you well. When you apply, they will do an analysis of you and they will know everything because they are looking at your Facebook, they are looking at your LinkedIn, they're looking at your Instagram posts, they're looking if you are on Twitter, and they will create a picture about you. What kind of guy you are, okay? And a job will be offered to you or not offered to you, or even what kind of a job will be offered to you. Engineering is no more a requirement, okay? So try to understand it. I'll come to that, what kind of jobs are being left out. But IT world specifically, you guys need to be very, very aware of it, that hiring has gone south. In IT, last 2 years, till 2017, we were hiring 250,000 people. Today, we are hiring hardly 1 lakh people. So the hiring has gone down below 50%. That means the jobs which you have been expecting for is no more available to you. Okay? So that is the world you need to prepare yourself for. This is the world of AI. Let's go ahead. So if you look at the trend in 2019, the technologies which will have a threatening or you say profound impact on us, okay? These are technologies which is open source framework, which is AI frameworks basically, like XBR frameworks and all, or deep learning platforms, facial recognition, edge computing, predictive maintenance, medical imaging diagnostics. So AI is leveraging your retina scan. Okay, it is being leveraged to look at it is actually doing a multi-dimensional data crunching and predicting your heart failure better than a doctor. Okay, or what kind of disease you will have, they are predicting up ahead. It is even predicting, taking your DNA, that what kind of facial structure you will have as you age. So if they get a childhood photograph of yours and they get your DNA sample, AI is predicting that at 10 years of age, how your face will be, at 20, how, at 30, how you will look, at 45, how, and at you become old, how you will look at. And it is so accurate, these pictures are, that you will be amazed. All this is the world area, e-commerce search and all this is all crop monitoring, all this is AI is being leveraged. Okay, this is AI trades. Okay, and a lot of other technologies which are on a trigger perspective is coming in at the back end, it is coming in very fast into it. Okay, so AI is a very, very transformational technology set which you guys need to be aware of. Okay, I'll just take a few minutes. AI, if you look in this Gartner hype cycle, it is already into the trough of disillusionment. When it goes into trough of disillusionment, any technology, that means industries are adopting it and industries are not so happy as well. Okay, so they are not very happy with the AI, the level of AI technology which is today, but everything if you look at, they are leveraging NLP. So today you are talking to your phone, that is if you are using an iPhone, that is Siri. And if you are talking to Google Assistant, if you are using an Android phone, you are using a Cortana, talking to Cortana if you're using Microsoft technologies, but you are talking, that is NLP, natural language processing, right? So these all technologies from virtual assistants to NLPs, deep learning platforms, all these technologies are walking into trough of disillusionment. But ANI, a narrow intelligence or applied AI is already on the plateau of productivity. Every company today has adopted AI, okay? Even type C companies who adopt late, they are adopting AI. Okay, and I talk to a lot of industries and all of them are moving into that direction. Okay, tomorrow a guy who is not literate in AI and data analytics, it will be very, very difficult for them to get a job. Okay, because they have to leverage AI to do their job, whatever. If it is a top line job, be a sales and marketing job, or it is a bottom line job, which is more an operational job, you have to still know AI and leverage AI-based tool sets. Okay. Revenues by 2025, prediction is it will cross around $25 billion, $25 trillion globally. And NASSCOM prediction is that 500 GB, a billion of dollars will get added to Indian economy. Okay, that means a lot of AI-based projects and AI-based deliveries from India will start happening on AI, on software industry. So let's try to understand what AI is. I hope you guys are able to hear me. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
are you able to understand what I'm talking, or should I go slow? या मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बोलूं? How is it, guys?
It is okay, sir.
You can carry on, sir.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So let me go down a little now, right? So I'm on the next slide now. So AI, as soon as we say AI and you Google AI, a lot of words will get thrown at you. Neural network, planning, cognitive systems, knowledge, ontology, perception, natural language processing. These are all robotics, all are the world of AI. Okay. If we try to define AI, AI we can categorize in two parts. One part is where we humans are still in the loop. We are still making the decision. Okay. And another is the AI which we humans are not in the loop. We are not making any more the decisions. Okay. So let's look at where we are still making the decisions, what kind. So if you look at the column of human in the loop where we are still making decisions, AI is two types. One is it is hardwired or a specific system. That means it once we have taught it, it doesn't learn. It does only that job time and again. Okay. And the second one is the down below is adaptive system, that is augmented intelligence. Now this AI, once we teach it, it starts helping us in making decisions, but it also learns how we make decisions. So it is also continuously learning. That is your augmented intelligence. So assisted intelligence, which once taught, it will not learn. And augmented intelligence, once you teach and it is operational, it still continuously interacts in the world and it adopts. It evolves. Okay. Look at no human in the loop. If you look at that, the automation is the industrial automation. And you go to factories of Volkswagen in Munich, if you will see that everything is automated. The car is moving on assembly line, robotic arms are there. One of them is putting the screws, another is putting the door, third is putting the engine, fourth is putting the glasses, and the car is moving slowly. Final robotic arm is painting the car, and fourth one is probably drying it with the blower, and the car is ready, right? Human intervention is minimalistic. But you know, this automation is a linear automation. So when I say linear, it means code-based automation. We humans have written the code there, okay? So that automation is there. That is very hardwired and specific. Once it is written, it does only that. It doesn't learn and it doesn't evolve. Go down below is the autonomous intelligence. That's an adaptive system. It is not hardwired or specific system. Can you give an example of an autonomous intelligence? Let me tell you. It's an autonomous vehicle. We just discussed about it. So an autonomous vehicle today has got LiDAR. It has got cameras. It has got ultraviolet radars to understand the profile of the road. Gadha vadha hai ki nahi. LiDAR looks into night also. It can look into foggy weather or into rainy weather. And the camera is obviously when, as the humans, which we were able to see, it sees it, right? This autonomous car takes all these data set, okay, and drives the car on the street. That is an autonomous intelligence. Robotics, some of the robotic implementation, like if you go to the Boston Dynamics and you will find there is a robot, a dog, AI dog, which we call it a Spot. So go to YouTube, a lot of these examples are there. You can go and see that. And a Spot is an autonomous intelligence. Okay, it is learning, it is evolving. Okay, now US Army is using it for advanced techniques, but it is there. So till date, till time, what we have talked about, we talked about artificial narrow intelligence, the world we are living in, and we are very soon moving to AGI. The technology is taking us to AGI, artificial general intelligence. Now, what is AGI? AGI is us guys. We humans are AGI. We are general intelligence. The difference between a narrow intelligence and a general intelligence is a very specific. Let me give you an example. You learn cycling, right? Or you learn swimming. you know, even if you become old and you are thrown into water, you will be able to swim. Or somebody gives you a bicycle, you will be able to cycle it too. Okay? We never forget it. But a narrow intelligence, it learns one task, you will teach one thing to him. Okay? Drive a vehicle, it will do good. But if you try to teach him to fly a drone, it will forget about driving a car. Okay? So it can do one task at a time. Though the algorithms which are being developed, these algorithms will start bringing it nearer to us, and that is what is happening. Okay? And from general intelligence, the technology will reach to super intelligence. That means all human knowledge today, every human put together, whatever is stream, be it philosophy or be it psychology or engineering, all that knowledge you put together into one guy, he will be the super intelligence. That's the Thanos guy. That's the singleton. Okay? That's the super intelligence. And every country, countries like US, countries like China, they are putting up so much of money into it to develop this technology, which I call it a decisive strategic advantage. Okay, if they get it, we are done with. Rest of the world will be done with. I'll come to it, why we are saying that. So today where we are applied AI is already there. Every country, every company is working with applied AI. They are doing leveraging AI for their top line impact or bottom line impact, but they're leveraging it. AGI is coming in, so it is a part of technology innovation trigger, and it is there. AI is all around you guys. I told you it is playing a role of a translator, it is playing a role of a chef, it is playing a role of a writer. So tomorrow, you go to some of the restaurants in US and Europe, where AI is being leveraged to cook food for you. You can order them cook, order the food on the cloud or on the mobile device, and the AI will cook the food for you and serve it, right? So these restaurants are available. Okay, so all this exoskeleton being developed. You must have seen this movie Avatar, right? So Avatar में जो लोहा वाला आदमी था जिसको पहन के वो movie में आगे जाता है. Okay, that is, we call it an exoskeleton. So this is an exoskeleton which has been developed, which is, the soldiers were wearing. And when you wear that exoskeleton, you can run at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. You can carry 40 kgs in your hand, right? And run. You actually, if an exoskeleton is made available to you, fully charged, probably you can climb Mount Everest. You'll be not feeling any pain in climbing Mount Everest. You'll just climb Mount Everest quickly, okay? So that kind of capability exoskeletons are bringing in. Okay, the weapons management system in US Army and US Air Force, they have integrated AI into it, okay? So a lot of work being happening today, guys. AI, when it started, the advent of it, see, when Deep Blue, IBM Deep Blue defeated Gary Kasparov, we were not worried because that code which was written, it was a tree algorithm and it was a brute force calculation, which actually a supercomputer was doing it or a mainframe was doing it when Gary Kasparov was taking his step. Okay, it used to go all those steps and humans has written that code, and so it used to make that, and that defeated Gary Kasparov. So we are so good in coding, right? But when AlphaZero, okay, Google AlphaZero, it defeated the Carl, his name was Carl Sagan, the Korean champion. When it defeated it, world actually woke up because AlphaZero was, or Google Alpha, that time they used to call it, it was an AI, okay? And Go is a very, very complex game. You can go on YouTube and see about it. It is a much more complex than chess, okay? And it defeated it into it. So world came to know about it. Yes, this is such a capable, and that happened in 2011. But in 2017, when Google, recently actually, they call it AlphaZero now. The AlphaZero or Google Zero, when they defeated and it reached to AlphaZero stage, when it defeated first, that period of time for a human to win from AlphaZero was 4%. But today, if you know, defeating AlphaZero for humans is 0%. It is making moves that you will be amazed. The kind of moves we humans can't even think of, the moves which AlphaZero is making today. Okay, it learns very fast. So I was talking about Gartner Hype Cycle. Okay, one thing which I always pointed out to you guys, and you need to be very, very serious about it. You are a young generation. You will see this live. See, Industrial Revolution 1.0, it happened due to steam. And India was not party to it. It happened in Europe. We were not party to it. And the resultant was that we were slaves for 200 years. Hum gulam the 200 saal tak. When electricity, that was Industrial Revolution 2.0, when it happened, it created a great divide. Developed nations and underdeveloped nations. India was an underdeveloped nation. We were not consuming electricity. Electricity was a big issue. Today itself, it's an issue, but it is less of an issue now. And we have moved up. We have started consuming. It's very important for an industrial revolution also. And we are now being called as a developing nation. Still, we are not a developed nation, guys. Industrial Revolution 3.0, it happened due to computing. This is where we caught up with the world. And today we are doing $287 billion of IT exports. 55% of the global IT needs, we service them, right? 3.5 million people are there in IT world. Probably we were lucky, guys. When we did our engineering and masters, we went into IT world and roamed around all over the world, worked with multinational companies, some of the top companies across. So probably that was the benefit we gained. But today, the Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is happening now, is happening due to intelligence. And this time, if we are not party to it, probably we will be done with. We will be slaves for permanently, and we need to understand why. I'll explain that to you, right? There will be no respite. Everything will be available to you. AI will bring food on your table. We call it precision agriculture, okay? It will sow the seed. It will grow the seed from weather data. It knows exactly how much water has to be given or how much nutrient has to be given to the plant. It will kill those insects which is harmful for that crowd or that particular crop. It will reap it, it will process it, and it will also cook the food and bring on our table. So food will be not an issue. Autonomous vehicles, wherever you want to go, the autonomous vehicles will be there. It will take you and drop you. But you know what? What will be not there with you is the swayata, to make decision, the freedom, that will be gone. And we will not even realize it. AI is such a powerful quantity. But if AI is coming in and is such a powerful, what will make AGI happen? Is it possible that today the world is there? But if you look at this Gartner hype, I'll explain that, this Gartner hype cycle. You see there is a small item which we call it quantum computing. And today, if you want, and we will be, very soon we'll be started offering courses on quantum too from AI. You can go ahead and do qubits computing on Microsoft Azure and IBM Bluemix Cloud also, okay? Now this qubits is nothing but quantum, okay? And how quantum computing is so powerful, guys, that a calculation is today's supercomputer which can do, and in 450 years, same calculation, quantum computer can do in 7 seconds. So any encryption which you believe it is encrypted can be broken by quantum computers below second, in microseconds actually. So no data or no safety of your privacy is available now. It's going to be available now, okay? We will be exposed. Data privacy is gone due to quantum. So it's such a powerful technology set. It is quite different than the technology which we operate upon, this 0-1 technology. It has got 3 bits, a probability bit, which actually can be a 0 and a 1 both. We call it entanglement. So quantum computing. So let's try to understand how such a powerful technology and why quantum will change or bring AGI to us, or artificial general intelligence to us. Google recently launched a quantum computer. It was a 72 qubits computer. Okay, 100 qubits computer, 128 qubits computer, a quantum computer was launched by, and Google announced that we have achieved the supremacy in quantum computing. Okay, but Rigetti came out. It's a small company, and they put up a quantum computer which was 128 qubits computer. And 100 qubit computer is more powerful than any supercomputer today which exists in the world. And so we have already crossed that limit. And when we will reach 500 qubits, quantum computer, every computer on this earth, every mobile device, your laptops, computers, servers, you put together, okay, on this earth, 500 qubits quantum computer will be more powerful than that. So all computing power on this earth, 500 qubits computer will be more powerful. And where we are, guys, we are already reached 128 qubits. So why it is important that this kind of a powerful computing, which is, we call it new physics, when it is coming in, how it can change it. So let me give you an example to make you understand how it can change it. See, our brain, this does around 26 quadrillion computations per second. Hey guys, are you there still? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
बोरिंग तो नहीं हो गया है काफी?
No, sir.
No, sir. It's interesting.
थोड़ा हिंदी कर दीजिए.
Okay, wonderful. तो मजा आ रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Yes, sir. बहुत.
So let's try to understand. Okay, fine. Thank you. Let's try to understand how. So our brain, ये जो खोपड़ी देख रहे हो ना, this does around 26 quadrillion computations per second, and it does at a speed of 120 meter per second. बड़ा slow है हमारा दिमाग, okay? But it does 26 quadrillion computations per second. A supercomputer. Take an example like Hunan 1 in China, which was the most powerful supercomputer. It does around 32 quadrillion computations per second. तो कितना अंतर है हमारे दिमाग से? हमारे दिमाग 26 quadrillion computations per second करता है, and एक सुपर कंप्यूटर जो है दुनिया का सबसे पावरफुल, वो 32 quadrillion computations per second करता है. There is
6.
a small difference, right? But it does at a speed of light, and we do it at only 120 meter per second. Now, if you say, okay, so a supercomputer is more powerful than a human brain, right? It does the speed of light. So we can download our brain into a supercomputer. We can make an AGI today. But you know what? Actually, the comparison ends here. We do 26 quadrillion computations per second with 120 meter per second speed. But you know what? We consume only 20 watts. Our brain consumes only 20 watts. 20 watts is a small battery. Okay? And supercomputer Hunan 1 with the 32 quadrillion computations per second consumes 24 megawatts. The space requirement for doing 26 quadrillion computations per second is this cranial, ये खोपड़ी, इतना ही जगह चाहिए. But a supercomputer Hunan 1 requires 724 square meter space. You know what is 724 square meter space? It is equal to 7 two-bedroom apartments. 7 2 bedroom का फ्लैट ले लो, उतना जगह चाहिए होता है, और 24 मेगावाट चाहिए होता है. So we require 20 watts. Hunan 1 requires 24 megawatts, which is equal to what Bhagalpur consumes. Okay, that kind of power it requires. So technology is not there yet. But if I say the technology, if tomorrow my laptop today, which I am giving a presentation upon, tomorrow if somebody gives me a quantum laptop, you know this laptop, my laptop and a quantum laptop, how big the difference will be? That will be 100 million times. The difference will be 100 million times. Okay? So 100 million is how much? It is 10 crore guna. 10,000 crore guna, sorry. 1 million is how much? 1 million is 7 crore. So you can do your math. Okay? 100 million times. 700 crore times higher. So 700 crore लैपटॉप को अगर जोड़ दो, उतना पावरफुल लैपटॉप होगा एक क्वांटम लैपटॉप. Okay? So that means the technology today, supercomputer today, will jump from where they are to 700 million times. It will be beyond, sorry. Are you able to see my, I don't know.
No, sir. Screen is not visible.
Okay. I'm trying to get back to this call came in, and my laptop is all connected. So I'll have to share it back again. Let me guys share it again. So just hold on. Okay. It is there. Just hold on. Just hold on, just hold on. I have to reshare my screen. I'll share my desktop, that is much more better. Okay, and I will now open up. Okay, fine. So I'll go on the top. I believe I was here somewhere. So I was still here, guys, okay? So that means that now all the servers put together, they will move beyond the capability 100 million times. That means 700 crore guna supercomputer jump kar jayega. Then obviously your brain can be emulated and put into a silicon, right? That is a capability quantum can bring on the streets for us. That is very important for us too. So we call it quantum AI. Okay, so if you look at, let me go like, so we call that what? Quantum AI. And these are some of the technologies you guys should work upon. A lot of companies are working. In India, 4 of the IITs have been identified to work on quantum. IIT Roper is one of them, which are our partners also. IBM is working, Microsoft is working. They have got quantum computers. Probably that will be a good idea to be aligned to that technology and go there. So every technology, so from being a coder's world or symbolic where we do coding, the world will move to sub-symbolic world. Every code, we have written around 8 billion line of code in this world. Okay, everything will move on AI. We humans will be not required to write any code going forward. Okay, we call it a sub-symbolic world. So technological singularity is inevitable, guy. I just talked about the Moore's law. So Moore's law will jump off the graph. It will be no more valid. And a Moore's law, it used to tell us that every year the technology becomes half miniaturized or chota ho jata hai and double faster or speed uski dugna ho jati hai. Yani behtar ho jati hai technology. So electronics jo tha, wo chota hota ja raha tha, miniaturized hota ja raha tha, and more speed aa raha tha. That was what it was happening in our technology. That was the Moore's law. Okay. It was true for last 120 years. Guys. Okay, so this is how technological singularity is inevitable. They say by 2030, we humans will not get driving license. Okay, we will be not allowed to drive cars or vehicles. AI will be doing it very soon. We are already in 2020, right? Next 10 years. So that's a prediction which is there. There is no point of return. This technology is not going to come back or return back. So it is good for us to understand, start learning and become part of it. And people who will not do it will come to it. So where this technology is today, we call it human parity. In object recognition, as good as us, we look at a photo and we identify all the beings into that, our mother, father, cat, table. AI is doing it. It is 96% closer to us on that. On speech recognition, it is making less error than us. We make 5.5% error when we are talking and trying to understand each other. But AI is making only 5.1%. Machine reading and comprehension. So you read an essay or a book and try to understand. That is called comprehension. AI is 90% equal to us. And it was equal to us. Look at 2018. I'm not talking, we are already in 2020. They're much more nearer. Probably surpassed us now. In March 2018, it was 70% on machine translation. So you've got an applications now, or AI-based application, which can translate from Japanese to German, German to English, English to German. 27 languages today are supported. Okay? So you can talk to a Japanese gentleman using your mobile phone. You can do that today. That's the human parity. I'll not talk about it. You guys need to go and start reading about it. This is causal entropy maximization. This is an MIT professor, and he told us that we became intelligent on this earth due to future histories. As the world became more complex, we humans became intelligent. God has not made us. This is what this guy told. So entropy made us intelligent. Entropy created intelligent beings like human beings. Okay. and it tells us the digital world will also become intelligent. It will become sentient as it works with more and more complex problems and statements and future histories. It will become intelligent eventually. We will amalgamate, or we will become symbiotic, which is known as bio-digital fusion. This is the world we'll be looking at. Okay, we are already wearing a lot of wearables, mobile phones, kaan mein lagaye rehte hain, brain mein chip. All this is taking us to the world where we'll fuse with AI. Okay, a lot of other technologies being worked upon, whole brain emulation. So tomorrow, your emulation will be available on cloud, which will be exactly you, because they will be analyzing your brain and emulating it on that cloud. So it will be you only, and you will be on the cloud. You will be learning on the cloud, and as a human being, you will be learning too. And he will be exactly you, so he knows you, what you eat, when do you eat, what kind of things you like, where do you want to travel, what is your ambition, all that world, the digital world, be knowing about it using emulation. IBM has announced a brain in a box by 2020. This year itself, IBM said they will give a brain in a box to the world to work with. Okay, and that is based on neuromorphic computing, neuromorphic chips. So the current chips, which we call it the VLSI chips, they are measured into flops, right? Floating point operations per second. That is how our laptops are. Okay, we say, hey, how many flops it calculates. But the neuromorphic chips, which is actually designed on our brain, they will be measured with synaptic operations per second. How many synapses are there, or how many synaptic operations it is doing? We call them neuromorphic chip. It's a new chip. Okay, every company like IBM, Ericsson, they are making it. Okay, and that will create a new kind of computers, a 5th generation computers. Seed AI, they are developing Seed AI just like a child, and we become adult in 21 years, right? When we become adult, but this will become adult in 21 months in interacting with the world. So fast. Brain-computer interface, that's a very owning world. We type today, we talk to each other, and we are doing affective computing, that is gesture and voice. A lot of devices are doing it. We're talking to Siri, that is voice. Very soon, you will think and computers will operate. That is known as BCI, brain-computer interface. It is already there, guys. Okay, go to YouTube and hit, you will find it. So why we should be afraid of artificial superintelligence? Look at this graph. On the left-hand side, we humans, on the intelligence staircase, we humans operate between 90 to 140 IQ level. Okay? So all of you think yourself to be too smart, but you know what? This is smartness, even an IQ measurement, it is only between 90 to 140 IQ. Okay? 140 IQ level, Einstein was 140. Okay? मैं तो शायद 90 हूँ. मेरी वाइफ हमेशा बोलती है कि तुम्हें कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता. So I always understand and think that I'm 90. You guys must be around 120 and 130 IQ level. The younger generation is much more smarter than the last generation, right? So I believe you guys are much more smarter than me. Around 130, 120 IQ level you guys are, right? But we humans operate between how much? 90 to 140 IQ level. Go down on intelligence staircase on the left-hand side, 2 steps below, chimpanzee and gorilla is there. So next time you go to Patna, go to the gorilla, okay? Don't go to gorilla. Gorilla is very, very powerful. Go to a chimpanzee, okay? Chimpanzees and gorillas, they have got around 30 to 40 IQ level. Go and try to explain trigonometric theorem to chimpanzee, okay? Or algebra to him, okay? Or any abstract math to him. I don't know what he will do. क्या करेगा तुम्हारे साथ मेरे को नहीं मालूम, लेकिन एक थप्पड़ जरूर लगाएगा. Okay? So we human beings who operate between 90 to 140 IQ level, we cannot even explain algebra or simple trigonometric equation to a gorilla or a chimpanzee who has got 30 to 40 IQ level, right? Go down below. This is chicken. It also operates between 15 to 20 IQ level odd, right? It manages its egg, rears up its kids, and all those things. It does have an IQ. और हम क्या करते हैं? हम रोज रात और दिन खाते हैं चिकन, right? करोड़ों चिकन मार दिया जाता है दुनिया में हर जगह. Chicken chili, chicken tandoori, chicken बटर मसाला. We eat day and day out. So human beings who is operating between 90 to 140 IQ level is eating something which has got 1500 below us in IQ level, and we are killing them and eating them out. Go down below on that intelligence staircase and you will find ants and mosquitoes. All these insects are there. What we have done? We have announced a chemical warfare against them, right? वो घर में hit है और वो mortin है. All those things are there, right? Ultraviolet rays है. And we have immunized our world. We have killed them. आज हमारे घरों में generally मक्खी मच्छर नहीं मिलेगा, right? So we have killed them in masses. This is what we have done. They do have an IQ level, guys. Actually, we are learning from them. We call it swarm computing. Okay? So how these ants work together or bees work together, we are learning from them. We call it swarm computing in AI. So this is the intelligence. You go on the right-hand side and you will find the biological range. So entire range of human being to insects is the biological range of intelligence on this earth, right? The AI, when artificial general intelligence will come in, it will operate at 5,000 IQ level, guys. And artificial super intelligence, it will operate at 12,500 IQ level, guys. So 100 and 140 IQ level, we humans eat out the chickens which are 15 to 20 IQ level, okay? And can't explain a step below to us a trigonometric and algebra to them. This artificial super intelligence or artificial general intelligence, they will think about strategies, theorems, innovations which we humans will be not even able to appreciate it. हमें बात समझ में आएगी ही नहीं. And then the fear, like we eat chicken, the fear is that whatever we will tell them to the artificial super intelligence or artificial general intelligence, it can do a perverse instantiation. What is perverse instantiation? ये ना, जैसे ये गंदे लोग होते हैं, उनको अगर कोई चीज बता दो तो उसका वो फायदा उठाने की कोशिश करते हैं, right? That is a perverse instantiation. So we will go to artificial super intelligence और हम बोलेंगे भाई साहब हमें भूख लगता है, right? We feel hungry. So ये भूख को खत्म कर दीजिए दुनिया से, पृथ्वी से. And artificial super intelligence, he may think, अच्छा ठीक है, खत्म कर देंगे, and he will analyze it. And he can do a perverse instantiation, thinking in a way that भूख किसको लगता है? Humans को, okay? अगर humans को हम खत्म कर देंगे, तो भूख खत्म हो गया. That's the perverse instantiation. Okay, he can, and how easy to kill humans, you know, right? We are in lockdown condition in COVID-19, right? So it is very easy to kill us, guys, right? And ASI can kill us with one virus, whatever, a biological weapon or whatever. We can be wiped out. That is the fear. That is the reason we are talking about artificial super intelligence. When it will be there, probably we will not exist. So there are two possibilities, right? But AI takeoff, guys, is imminent. The intelligence explosion is imminent. You want it or you don't want it. Okay? नहीं जानना है, नहीं समझना है, सुतुरबुर्ग रहना है, जिंदगी में रह सकते हो. लेकिन this intelligence explosion is already happening. It is all around you guys. You are in the middle of it now. Okay? AI takeoff is imminent. So there are the two possibilities for us. One is extinction and another is immortality. So हमारी हिंदू mythology में बड़ा अच्छा है ये चीज. I always believe in it that we have got three categories: humans, devtas, and Brahma, Bhagwan. Right? These devtas, Indra Bhagwan, Sri Krishna Bhagwan, Narad Muni, Hanumanji, all these devtas, there was only two differential between them and us, right? One was that they had a super weapons, right? Indra Bhagwan के पास वज्र था, राम भगवान के पास में ब्रह्मास्त्र था, और अर्जुन के पास में ब्रह्मास्त्र था, हनुमान जी के पास गदा है, and all those technologies are there. ब्रह्मास्त्र था उनके पास, तो हमारे पास में भी fusion bombs है, right? We have got ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and we have got Brahmas like fusion bombs. We can kill millions of people in second now, right? Atom bombs है हमारे पास. उनके पास में वज्र था जो हड्डी से बना था, right? and that was, we have got laser beams, we have got Star Wars today, Gada tha, so that power is there with us. So we have captured, we have reached near the gods, right? But one thing we have not reached near them is they are immortals. उन्होंने अमृत पी रखा है, right? कहानी सुने हो ना, अमृत पी रखा है और एक राक्षस ने पिया था, उसका सर काट दिया था उन्होंने, वो आज भी है राहु, कहीं लटका हुआ है बेचारा, सर उसका जिंदा है. तो बट अमृत था जो इमोर्टल्स बना दिया उनको, राइट? एंड आई बिलीव ये समुद्र मंथन की कहानियां सुनते हो ना, दैट वाज नथिंग बट अ नॉलेज मंथन व्हिच आवर अर्लियर सिविलाइजेशन डिड इट एंड दे डेवलप्ड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी. AI is being touted to help us in developing that technology. So what the world will be? AI will help us from aging. So in genetic engineering, there is a technology known as CRISPR, and I will ask you guys to go and read about it. It is actually helping us to take away some of the diseases because we have digitized our DNA. Our DNA has got how much? 700 million genomes are there. And we know exactly which genome can give you an illness like Wolff syndrome, which is a genetic hereditary disease. Okay. So we know we can go and take your DNA, cut that genome out and put that DNA back in your body and you will not have that disease. This technology is known as CRISPR. They are working on developing this DNA-based technology using CRISPR to correct your DNA, to take away diabetes, blood pressure, cancer. They're working on that. But they don't know still that how many more genomes they have to take it out or alter so that you will stop aging. We call it escape from aging. यानी बूढ़े होने की प्रक्रिया से आदमी की मुक्ति मिल जाए. यानी अगर हम बूढ़े नहीं होंगे तो मरेंगे नहीं, right? जो देवताज होते हैं, उन्होंने अमृत पी रखा है, वो ना बूढ़े होते हैं ना मरते हैं. Immortals, इसको हम लोग immortality बोलते हैं. AI is going to help us. Artificial super intelligence is going to help us in achieving it. That's the research. Google has launched a company, they call it Calico. Okay, you can go and read about this company, Calico. They are working on immortality. Death is no more acceptable quantity. Okay, they want to walk away from the death. Maut se mukti. Okay, escape from aging. The world will have a lot of collaterals. These devices which we are working with, our mobile and laptops and computers will be gone, guys. There are new devices coming in, like HoloLens, Ajna Lens. Recently, Reliance announced it, a GeoLens. These devices gives you a three-dimensional capability. Apple is going to launch an Apple glasses. Augmented reality, virtual reality, or mixed reality, we call it extended reality. You will start operating in a world which will be three-dimensional. And it will be very good, guys, because हम लोग अभी रट्टा मारते हैं, किताबों से पढ़ते हैं. कल we will experience it. So you don't have to remember the periodic table anymore. You will actually see the periodic table. You will see how these hydrogen atoms come and meets with oxygen and becomes an H2O and water, right? And when you will experience this in three dimensions, we humans, our mind is made that way, you will never forget it. We don't forget experience. So we call it a lot of collaterals. It will be a wonderful world. A lot of collaterals we humans will be interacting with. Our world, AI will help us from moving our world from being red, आज जो polluted world है, to a more greener world. Okay. I'll skip this, but AI ethics is going to become more powerful. It is good AI and bad AI. I just told you about the perverse instantiation, and United Nations has already formulated a committee on AI ethics that we should not be developing bad AI, because bad AI will be a biased AI. Bad AI will be a non-validated AI. It can harm us if it runs amok. So autonomous vehicle, which is an AI-based vehicle, and you know what happened in France when a terrorist took a truck and killed hundreds of people, right, in Paris? So if an autonomous vehicle runs amok, pagal ho jayega, so how much harm it can do, right? We were able to stop it because it was being driven by human being. But an AI, kisko maroge, kisko rokoge, right? So a good AI and a bad AI is very, very important. Okay, a lot of other things are there, like loan processing. Now banks are implementing AI. Now they are using AI to do a loan processing for you. If that is biased, it will give loan to somebody in Bombay. It will give loan to a Gujarati gentleman, but to a Bihari, it will not give loan. Okay, so it can become biased. We become biased. So whatever data we give, because Biharis are not known for making businesses and making succeed. Gujaratis are known for it. So if we teach this, our similar biases will get extended to the AI also. So AI ethics is becoming very, very important, so that AI is impartial and it is a good AI which works for it. It's not detrimental. By the way, Sanskrit is being touted as the most unambiguous language for humans to talk to AI. It is such an ambiguous. See, your language like Hindi, it is an ambiguous language. English is an ambiguous language. Okay. What is ambiguity? Ambiguity means like अगर तुम लोग दो दोस्त आपस में बात कर रहे हो और तीसरा भी आ गया और तुमने एक दोस्त को बोला यार इसको मारो तो, that friend of yours knows actually what you mean. You are probably making a मजाक. You are just तुम्हें मजा आ रहा है and you are just doing. So he may go and slap a little your other friend, or he may not. He will just laugh and do nothing, right? So we humans understand that ambiguity in this language, right? But if you tell an AI or a robot to maro to, he may go and kill him. But Sanskrit is very, very rich and profound language, okay? And Sanskrit is being touted to be very, very unambiguous language. You can correctly tell it exactly what you mean. Upanishads are being, there is a university in Australia which is working on it, that it can, our Upanishads can be leveraged to develop models, mathematical models, to create good AI, which will be not detrimental to human beings. So where we are moving from war, famine and disease, the world, there is no war now. Famine is improbable. United Nations, generally, if there is any famine, पूरी दुनिया वहाँ खाना पहुँचा देती है आज के दिन में. Disease, though we are fighting still with COVID-19, but we will be able to tackle. Vaccines are already out now, guys, in a human trial. So it is very fast. Earlier, vaccines used to take 12 years. It is not taking 12 months probably. Okay. So we have controlled this world. So Homo sapiens will move from being Homo sapiens to Homo Deus. Okay. That is where we are. The human race is going to talk about using, leveraging AI, about immortality. I just told you about it. Amritva. Or we are talking about happiness. We are talking about divinity. So जितनी मैनुअल वर्क है वो हम नहीं करेंगे, रिक्शा हम नहीं चलाएंगे, हम जो खेती करते हैं और रात दिन टॉयल करते हैं हम नहीं करेंगे. जितनी भी ये जो मैनुअल वर्क है, AI will take over. And what we will achieve, we will become devtas. We will achieve divinity. That is, we will do things which we are made of. हमारा दिमाग जो ह्यूमन से जो करने के लिए हम बने हैं, हम वो करेंगे. More R&D, more strategic directions, more happiness will bring that. Okay, this is what we are built for, we humans. But there is a fear, the fear which I talked earlier. And try to understand this fear. When artificial superintelligence will be there, we call it decisive strategic advantage. And if you have seen this movie, Thanos, the world, ASI will be Thanos. It can destroy the world in seconds. So when, and try to understand why these countries and corporations, they are working in it. How much time I do have, Sumit? Hello?
Hello, sir.
How much
Time is...
how much time I have?
Yes, sir. You sir take more than 5 or 10 minutes. Try to complete within 10 minutes. Yes, sir.
Right. So try to understand that decisive strategic advantage. Nuclear bomb was a decisive strategic advantage. When they killed millions of people in Nagasaki, Hiroshima, okay, America understood that this is a decisive strategic advantage, and they immediately went for a non-proliferation treaty. हमें नहीं मिली वो टेक्नोलॉजी, हमने बनाया उस टेक्नोलॉजी को, and we did Pokhran in 1974. 32 साल लगा हमें उस टेक्नोलॉजी को प्राप्त करने में. When they made ICBMs and Star Wars, intercontinental ballistic missiles, they immediately put up a ban on cryogenic engine, as they understood this is a strategic advantage. They can kill people or a country 5,000 kilometers दूर without going and fighting with them. Just put up a nuclear bomb using ICBMs. It was a decisive strategic advantage. They put up a ban on cryogenic engine. We took 25 years to put our own rocket into space. When they will develop ASI, guys, okay, ASI will ensure we never get this technology. It will ensure our freedom is gone forever. If ASI makes a soft landing, we still have got chances. I mean, when I say soft landing means they develop technology, we also develop technology in parallel, then we will be equal. The human race and humanity will be good enough. But if they it is a hard landing. They develop the technology and we have not. I mean, few corporations, few countries have got this technology. Then they will become the superpowers. They will become the thin off, and we will be permanently slaves, guys. Okay, understand that. Runaway innovation. AI, we humans can work on 5 technology, but artificial super intelligence or AI can work on thousands of technology in parallel. We call it a runaway innovation. No catching up. If you look at the top 100 startups in AI world, they're all in Northern America. China is catching up very fast. If you read the book from Lee, go to the that book was there. Lee was the Google head. That 2 superpowers in AI, US and China. US is doing a lot of research and China is doing implementation. If we are left out this time, we don't have any startups, there will be no catching up. India is still not on the Industrial Revolution 4.0 map, guys. Maximum investment in IT, I'll skip this. AI is all around you. Every industry you look at, be it manufacturing, automotive, roadways, retail, housing, everywhere it is. The machine learning is being leveraged for real-time optimization, strategic optimization from automotive, manufacturing, consumer, finance, telecom, everywhere. Okay. Wherever there is a data richness is available, and wherever there is an impact, return on investment is available, AI is being implemented. This is how industry looks out. अगर फायदा है और डाटा है तो AI ला सकते हैं, और फायदा है तो AI implement कर रहे हैं. This is what is happening. We are becoming a hyper competitive digital enterprise. हम अब predict करेंगे. Okay, अब हम train करते हैं applications को, हम code नहीं लिखते हैं. We have become declarative instead of imperative. पहले था कि जब कुछ होता था तो उसको हम एनालाइज करते थे और बेहतर बनाते थे. अब हम प्रिडिक्ट कर रहे हैं ये होगा, उसको पहले ही ठीक कर लो. That is the world we are entering into it. From hindsight to foresight. And guys, everyone, every human being, every company, every government, if you don't have an AI strategy, you are going to die in the world that is coming. Any institution, if it doesn't have an AI strategy, it is not going to exist. India में 3,500 engineering colleges थे. Last 2 years में 800 engineering colleges बंद हो गए हैं. AI is bringing automation. नौकरियां ले जा रहा है वो. And what kind of jobs will be available to us? All jobs which can be optimized and compassion is not needed. Those jobs will be gone, guys. If you look at on the down below quadrant, these jobs will be gone. Compassion means empathy, human empathy. Okay, it is different than sympathy. Human empathy. हम समझते हैं एक दूसरे की सहायता हम करते हैं. इसको empathy बोलते हैं. Compassion बोलते हैं. As a human हम इज्जत करते हैं दूसरे human को. हम मार नहीं देते हैं उसको. मार के खा नहीं जाते हैं हम. That is empathy. We humans have got that. So the jobs which will need compassion and jobs which will need creativity and strategic thinking, those jobs will be left out. A job like a CEO, merger and acquisition experts, sales and marketing director, these jobs will be so. But jobs which doesn't need, like driver, it doesn't need any compassion, human compassion. You're just driving. That will be gone. Dishwasher, meteorologist, telesales, all BPO jobs. Security guys, those jobs. Driving, those jobs, all will be gone. This is gone. Gone. A lot of this gone. This is how the world will be. All below quadrant jobs will be gone. Where creativity, humans will be leveraging AI, probably more on the right hand quadrant. On the left hand top quadrant, it will be probably using AI more, where the compassion is still needed, but humans will be still in a job. Below 60,000 K jobs, $60,000 jobs, all that job is going to go away. All the red ones will be gone. Jobs like dentists, computer information system managers, lawyers, where human compassion and empathy is needed, those jobs will be red. So what is required, guys? You need to become critical thinkers. You need to become, which pushes the envelope. Don't live in a cell. Okay? You need to push your boundaries, your envelope. Okay? And you need to become naturally curious, not easily overwhelmed. So 10 काम दे दिया गया तो हम depression के शिकार हो गए नहीं. So you need to not become easily overwhelmed. Those kind of people will have jobs. Okay? These are the top technologies. I already talked about it. So look at this guy, Putin, right? He makes a statement. The artificial intelligence, right? Read this line. It's the future, right? It is the biggest opportunity for us and threat. Whoever becomes the leader in this sphere will become the ruler of the world. This is what said, ruler of the world. So they are working towards what? To become the ruler of the world. We have to be very, very clear. Don't have any doubt about it. China is already beyond US. They are making more IPs, more products than US now, right? There is a new emerging world order. US is investing more than $3 trillion. $3 trillion इंडिया की जीडीपी के बराबर है. जितना हमारा जीडीपी है ना, उसके बराबर पैसा वो AI में लगा रहे हैं. China is putting $147 billion. These are some of the areas of AI: natural language processing, machine learning, computer vision, technology platforms, intelligence, UAV, all are speech recognition. So there is a new emerging world order. Go to this website, Partnership on AI. You will find companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, IBM, Microsoft. They've all met hands and they have created a strategy. They call it AI first strategy. हम जो भी काम करेंगे, AI आगे रख के करेंगे. This is what they are trying to tell us. This is the strategy they have adopted, and they are sharing IP. They are sharing knowledge. Our institutions has to do that quickly. They have to start sharing on AI. They have to focus on AI. दूसरी सारी नौकरियां की जरूरत नहीं रह जाएगी टेक्नोलॉजीज की, right? Any mechanical, you need to understand AI because manufacturing is leveraging it. Electrical electronics engineering, you need to have AI. Every system you will work upon is leveraging AI, right? Computer science, not required. It is AI, analytics and data analytics, which is more important there. I believe India is standing on the cusp of century's biggest opportunity. ये समय है कि इंडिया विश्व गुरु बन सकता है. हमारे GDP, we have grown up. Obviously, we have got a higher population. We have got 3.5 million people. 35, right? 3.5, 8 million, 10 lakh होता है. जो IT area में काम कर रहे हैं, IT professionals हैं, right? We have got 3,000 colleges, engineering colleges. We are producing kids like you. So we can move into AI pretty quickly. That is what we are doing from Viti. We are creating these dynamic delivery centers. We are establishing AI Innovation Hub. And by the way, guys, on 6th October, coming 2 weeks, we are inaugurating an artificial intelligence and design innovation hub in World University of Design in Sonipat. Very soon, we are also going to announce an AI innovation hub in BML Munjal University. We'll be working on autonomous vehicle. That is for designing a new autonomous AI vehicle for India. Okay, for India has got a different condition than US. In US, people do defensive driving, but in India, we do aggressive A-hole driving. Okay, that is more probabilistic driving. They do deterministic driving. So we have to have a different AI altogether. That is what we plan to work upon in AI Innovation Hub. We are partners to 15 universities, 3 of the IITs. That is where we are moving in. With IIT Roper in TBIF, we are establishing and we are working on a lot on power systems and aviation sector now. This is our focus is. So you guys need to focus upon it and see that how do you move into it and leverage it. Nobody is working in Bihar and something, but I believe you guys can change the atmosphere and catch the bull by the horn and bring this technology inside for yourself, because this is something which is disruptive, which is going to wipe away. In AI Innovation Hub, we are bringing labs like AI labs, which is high performance computing. We are proposing IoT lab. We are proposing extended reality lab. We are proposing a VLSI design, which is neuromorphic design computing. This innovation hubs need to support the startups. So any one of you have got a bright idea and you want to do a startup, you can do it here on AI. Obviously, we'll focus on more AI. We can bring projects to these hubs. So even if you learn technology and your hands are not dirty, you are not done a project, nobody is going to give you a job. Any experienced people are being requested to come and get a job. But if you get experience, you can get 5 times more salary than a computer science graduate. Okay? So this is it. And world, like US, there is a huge gap for AI people. There is a huge gap for data analyst or data scientist, AI analyst and data scientist. Huge gap. We are working in training and education. We are working on project-based learning, where we are giving projects. We are running internship program. We are giving projects, and we are making their hands dirty, which can be on pattern recognition, these projects on computer vision or natural language processing, preventive maintenance. We have got 6 projects defined, which are all capstone real-time industry projects. This is what we are bringing the faculty and students up to speed on it, which is domain focused, healthcare, automotive and all. And we are doing ourselves a lot of projects. And now we are developing a product, we call it Sarthik. Very soon we are, it is very in the final stages now, where AI will help you in learning and identifying books and knowledge sets from where you need to pull it out when you are going through a curriculum like BE or MBA or whatever, okay? And your classrooms, where your classrooms is going to be, which teacher can teach you what, all that data will get encapsulated. AI will ingest and help you. We are doing this kind of projects I just talked about. Come and join us, guys. If you're not on LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn, create your profiles. You're on Facebook, come and join me. There is a group known as AI for Humanity. Join me onto here. We share a lot of information on AI there. We can help you in gaining grounds on AI. If you are inquisitive, you need support, we can support you there on these groups. There are a lot of people are there. Come and join us. If you are a female, you can join us also on Women of AI. A lot of women are moving into AI area, and they are becoming data scientists and artificial intelligence analysts. You need to move into it. Our brand is known as Viti AI. We call it Viti, that is Sanskrit intelligence. We have created AI community hurdle like AI for Humanity. We have created all the industry CEOs. So we are doing a lot of evangelization with industry association like BCCI, MESIA, Pune Product Development Council, and all, where a lot of industry associations have worked. We are partners to multiple companies and universities, companies like iRobotics, IBM, Microsoft. We are working very closely with them. Okay, a lot of other companies like Lex Technologies in Australia. So this is what we are doing, guys. Thank you for listening me. This is my number. This is my email address. Note it down. If you feel that you need to get in touch with me, do get in touch with me. You can write to me. You can WhatsApp me. If I feel, yes, I need to get in touch and help you out, guys, we'll do it. But join AI for Humanity. Go ahead and join that, okay? Or Women of AI, if you are already. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir, for a nice presentation and enlighten us. Now I request to participants, if you have any questions, then please ask. Or you may write your question in chat box. I think one student have raised one questions. Nitish Kumar. Sir, Nitish Kumar write his questions in chat box. And
Hold on. Let me try to read it. Hold on. Nitish Kumar, right?
yes, sir.
If you can, acha. You're absolutely right, Nitesh, right? So you're absolutely right, Nitesh. These technologies being developed, and that's the fear is there. Like recently, Facebook, they developed AI and the two chatbots with visual interface, and they put them together to talk to each other. And you know what happened? 1 month time, they went back to look at this AI when they were talk to each other. They were no more talking in English. They were talking in English. Okay. So, and so this Facebook scientists were pretty amazed that, oh, they have developed a new language, and they tried to understand what is that they are talking. And they came to understand that they are talking future. Okay. So they pulled the plugs out of it. They pulled the, just hold on. I need to take this call. Hey, Sunil, I'm in a webinar. Give me 5 minutes. I'll call you back. Okay. So, right? So they got afraid and they pulled the plug out. You are absolutely right. AI, if we are not able to sandbox it, I mean, we are not able to contain this technology can go beyond our control. And by AGI, there is a whole chance there will be no plug to pull it out, because they will be like us, charging themselves from solar light or whatever. Okay, and they will think about it, what else they can develop to charge themselves. So there is definitely genuine fear about it. But now you know how technology cannot be stopped. Okay, so we have to develop, either sandbox it or develop containment zones for it, take out the internet connectivity to it because it can replicate itself. So all that thought process is there. People are working, and you guys are the next generation. You guys also need to start working into these directions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a nice presentation and enlighten us regarding great presentation over artificial intelligence. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you very much.